We're doing day 22 early today. Day 22. Yesterday, my day got kind of hectic, so it was done a little differently. Ooh, I'm like trying to come down so I don't. I'm not going to use my trigger in the negative way. I'm trying to like hone in on my words. When you hear or when you find out that someone has decided, they have finally made the decision to step away from a parent or both parents, and your reaction and your response is, what about honoring thy mother and thy father? First of all, read a couple of more chapters, read a couple more books, keep going, because if you want to stick by that scripture and that commandment, you also need to remember Ephesians 6:4. Do not provoke your children to anger by how you treat them. You do not follow blindly to your mother and father if they are abusing you on any level. Period. You do not honor thy mother, and that's not loyalty. That is loyalty to the abuse. That is loyalty to their reputation. That is loyalty to their facade and act that they put on for everyone else in the world to see. That is what you're being loyal to. You're not being loyal to your mom and to your dad, because at that point, if they're abusing you, they are no longer your mom and dad. They are your mother and your father. Absolutely, because you have no choice over that. But don't come to someone who is trying to tell you about their abuse that they have experienced, most likely from childhood on, and tell them, well, you should honor your mother and father. Fuck that. No. We do not blindly follow people who are abusing us. And if someone has finally gotten the courage and the bravery and they finally feel vulnerable with you to tell you about it, and you want to react like, oh, but you reacted this way, you said this to them, you acted this way toward them, they are fighting for their autonomy. They are fighting for their voice. They are fighting for their well-being. And shame on whoever it is that is telling them otherwise. Because all they want is a safe space. Someone who supports them. Someone who sees them, wants them, cares for them, and loves them. Because let me tell you, love is not abuse. Abuse is not love. That's what I was raised on. I was raised that love equaled abuse. And abuse equaled love. If you got abused, you were loved. If you were mistreated, you were loved. You know that saying, oh, well, if so-and-so is being mean to you, it means they like you. Fucking stop that shit. Stop it. Stop it. If someone is being mean to you, they do not like you. Do not program that abuse into a child. Do not program that abuse into a teenager. Do not program that abuse into an adult. Absolutely not. That is not love. That is not care. If you are being mean to because you like someone, go get fixed. Go take care of yourself. Go fix some things because you have some serious characteristic issues to work on. Because that don't fly. Just like the same parents probably tell you, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. We do not do death threats. We do not do death threats. Find something else. Find another way. Find different words. We do not give death threats. No. Especially to our children who did not ask to be here, who did not want to be here, and who do not get the choice of their parent. We don't get that choice. Absolutely not. Trust me, I've tried. I tried to find other parent figures. What did that do for me? Put me in some really dangerous situations. Because I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one. And when I would finally speak up, I would be told, oh, but that's your dad. You see a different side of him than we do. Yes! Listen to me. Listen to them. We see a side of them that you don't. So if we're speaking up on it and we're telling you about it, do not sit there and say, well, I get a different side. We know they put on a facade. They put on an act. They put on a separate mask to wear in front of you so that no one else knows what they're doing behind closed doors. Absolutely not. We were raised, you work through the abuse. You don't report it. We don't talk about the abuse outside the four walls of our house. That stays in the house. No. Absolutely not. We are not here to be your little pawns in the game of your life. We are not here to make your feelings better. We are not here to stick up for you. We are not here to make sure that you are happy on a 24/7 basis when you're not even willing to do the same for us. You want respect? Earn it. You were given respect at the beginning and then you unearned it. So the way that you get it back is to earn it back. You can't go around unearning respect and then demanding it. My father's favorite thing was, I feel like Rodney Dangerfield. I can't get no respect. Because you didn't earn it. You unearned it. You unearned it. So if someone is coming to you with an issue, do not dismiss it. It doesn't matter if it's publicly. It doesn't matter if it's on the side of the street. It doesn't matter if it's in the confines of someone else's home. It does not matter. If you're nitpicking at someone confessing the abuse that they have endured, especially if it's been their entire life, you are not supportive. You do not love that person. I have so many people that are like, oh, I love you. I will love you always. Then stop supporting my abusers. Both of my parents did that shit, and you don't deserve that shit just like I don't deserve that shit. So if you are trying to find someone to believe your truth, just know that you are enough. You believing it is enough, because you should not have to fight for your truth to be heard. You do not have to fight for your truth to be believed, because those people are showing you that they do not love you. They do not care about you, and they are not there to support you, which means that they are not safe. They're not. They are not. And when we get to that point, we have already tried everything in our power to talk to those people, to talk to the parents, to try to get them to understand, but they excuse it and they flip it back on you every single time. This is why I'm trying to explain the difference between regular people and narcissistic people. There is a difference. And unfortunately, I was raised by two very, very well-trained narcissistic people who just so happen to have a God title with them. So it's like, oh, they could never. Oh, that doesn't sound like them. Well, have fun with the show. Have fun at the circus. I'm going. I'm gone. No. Absolutely not. No. And now I finally have the words for it. For the longest time, I didn't know what the words were. I didn't know what meant what or this meant that. I just knew that it was so many little things that when I pointed them out, people were like, oh, well, you're just nitpicking. You're making something out of nothing. I'm not making something out of nothing. I'm trying to get you to see the something that's happening that they're making it seem like it's nothing. This can be prevented. I wanted out. I wanted to be saved. I wanted to be removed from my house. I ran away. I snuck out. I went places I shouldn't. I went with people that I shouldn't, because I needed to find somewhere else that was safe. Because where I was not safe. Yeah, I had food on the table. Yeah, I had clothes on my back. Yeah, I got to do sports. That is like the bare minimum. And then there are other levels on that bare minimum line that don't get met. You know why? Narcissistic people make it all about themselves. You have to bend to their emotions. You have to bend to their feelings. You have to make sure that they are okay and that they are happy and pleasant and whatever when they get home. No, absolutely fucking not. We are not doing that these days. No. Well, they were doing the best they could with what they had. I still got abused because of it. I tried to bring this up to them. I got half-ass acceptance, half-ass apologies. And you know what? Even when I tried to go back to my mother kindly to kind of maybe see if I could find my mom, you know what she told me? First off, she told me that I have always wanted her to leave my father. She's right. She's right. Absolutely right. Because I knew that, well, I felt like I knew that as long as we got away from him, we would be okay. We would be okay. Then I got to thinking about it. When I lived in Karnak, I ran away. And for the longest time, it was made for me to seem like it was because of my father. But he had left the country. He left the country. He wasn't even here. So I got to thinking about it, and I was like, why did I still run away? If he was gone, why did I still run away? Because it was my mother too. It was both of them. It was both of them. Because yeah, you may have removed me physically from my first abuser, but you didn't remove me from my second or my third. I had to do that myself. And I fought hard to get out of that. And it came with a lot of backlash. It came with a lot of repercussions. It came with a lot of trauma and more abuse added onto it. And it just don't fly like that these days no more. If you know your truth, and you know it's the truth, like you have gone and you have done the timeline, and you have figured it out, and you're like, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. This was said. This was done. This is what happened. No, you're not going to sit there and tell me that, oh, well, I'm alienating them from their grandchild. Oh, you're treating your parents so bad. How could you possibly do this? You need psychiatric help. Bitches, I told you that I was healing out loud, that I was healing publicly because it needed to be done. Someone needed to do it. Because one, it can be preventable, or it can be prevented. It is preventable. And I could go into way more of a detailed conversation on that. However, I'm trying to keep this not too long. I'm trying to keep it somewhat short. Because I know that there are other people out there who need the same support, who need to know that they're not alone, that they're not crazy, that they're not irrational, and they're not delusional. They are. They are. You know what happened. You know what the truth is. Nobody else has to tell you that. Nobody else has to agree with you. But if you are one of those people that need it, I am right here. Sweetheart, I am right here. I understand. I know. I have been there. I have done that. I have everything that comes from the tourist gift shop. I've got the hat, the bumper sticker, the license plate cover, the keychain, the flashlight. I've got the deck of cards. I've got everything. I've got it all. We don't deserve what they gave us. We don't deserve what they're still sending us. because we know the truth. We know the truth. And don't let anyone else back you down. Stand your ground. And unfortunately, in any way necessary. But get out. Save yourself. Save yourself. Because they're not going to do it with you. They're not going to do it for you. They're not. They are not going to do it. So we have to do it ourselves. For me, it took leaving and going to a shelter. That was my step out. That was me saving me and my kid. That was a step up. That was getting out to freedom and safety, because I didn't have that where I was. I had been programmed so much to be loyal to family. Oh, that's your mom and dad. Oh, you have to be loyal to your mom and dad. Obey your mother and father. Fuck that. Fuck that, because they didn't do the same for me. They didn't do the same for me. And if they're not doing the same for you, leave them. You owe them nothing. They owed you everything. They owed you everything in life. Children do not owe their parents shit. They do not owe their parents anything. Later on, they can give you help and things like that because they're grateful and they're thankful because you treated them well, you did what they needed, you protected their well-being. But if you're being constantly abused on multiple levels, consistently, but they want to nitpick at the little things that they did for you, when 9 times out of 10, most of those things are a guilt trip. Things they can hang over your head. Things they can tell people that they did to help you, to make them look like a better person. That don't fly over here. That don't fly over here. No. Nope. 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 Mm-mm. Nope. So get yourself out. Save yourself. And if you need someone to talk to, or you need someone to vent, or you just need someone to understand that, hey, you're not alone, I got you. I got you. I got you. Because you're not alone. You're not alone. I orphaned myself because it was the best thing for me, and it was the best thing for my kid. I'm not alienating anybody. I'm finally standing my ground. And I'm finally choosing me because my parents won't choose me. My mother will run back to my abuser every single day. Every single time, she will run back to my abuser. She will not choose me. She will not do what's best for me. Or herself for that matter, because she's still in it. That's fine. You want to continue to work through the abuse? That's fine. You work through the abuse. I'm done. Because by you teaching me that, I felt like I had to stay in my relationship with the person abusing me. And I couldn't go to my mother. I couldn't go to her because I knew exactly what she would do, because I had already once gone to my parents throughout my marriage, talking to them about what was going on. Divorce isn't an option. Work it out. He's your husband. Work it out. We don't work through abuse over here. I'm done and tired of being abused. I'm done and I'm tired of being abused on any level. So it makes perfect sense that I would find and marry a narcissistic fucking person. Because my parents trained and brainwashed and programmed me to do that. Now I know the truth. Now I've healed very large amounts of things within my body that were programmed to me because of my parents. I always knew that they were teaching me what not to do. I said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this because of my parents. However, when I figured it out, I realized that was the only thing I had. I didn't know any other way until I started figuring it out. I started looking at my kid and realizing that there were different ways to do things. Because I started realizing that they are very similar to me. And guess what? It is not hard to love me. It is not hard to follow my needs. Because guess what? We each have our own individual needs. You cannot give what you want when someone is telling you what they need. That is selfish. They're not rebellious. They're rebelling over what you want them to do, what you want them to be. Like, and when I say you, I mean the parents. I'm still trying to figure out my words. When they, there we go. when they are sitting there and telling you, oh, you're being rebellious. No, I'm not being rebellious. I'm just rebelling against what you want me to do instead of you figuring out what I want to do and what I need. Your needs, their needs, are their own. But us as the child, whether it's infant child, toddler, older kid, teenager, or adult child, we still have needs from our parents at a certain point. And if you can't give that on any level, bye. You have unearned that title. You have unearned that title. There's a difference between mom and dad, mother and father. There is a difference. There is a difference. You're a mother and a father because of genetics, because of biologicals. Being a mom and dad, you got to show up way different. You have to show up way different. You have to be there for your child's needs because their needs are going to be different than yours. If you're lucky and you get a child that's similar to you, you'll know similarities and how to navigate through that, but you have to understand yourself first. So you have to heal those childhood wounds. You have to start working on those childhood wounds. You cannot ignore it. You can't dismiss it. You can't sweep it under the rug. You have to face it head on. Otherwise, they go no contact. They fight to be heard. They fight to be understood. And then you get to a certain point where you cannot fight no more. You just can't fight no more. Because it's not worth it. You start to lose yourself again in that fight. And we do not deserve for ourselves to get lost in another fight that isn't even ours. Remember that. There is a difference. And I will speak on this difference till the day I die, because this is one of those hills I will die on. And you can try to attack me in any way possible. I'm protected. And I'm not scared. You got this. Be brave. Be courageous, because you can do it. I love you. I believe in you. You can do it. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Okay? 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 All right. Well, y'all go have a great ass day. Be happy for yourself. I love y'all. I love you. Mwah.